Welcome to Arcade Audio.
The Dilettante Ball. I'm Johnny.
I'm Spencer.
Here on Dilettante Ball, we go on Wikipedia.
We click random article.
And we talk about it.
Yeah, we do.
First, we got to talk about a little thing that's happening really soon, actually, in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's coming up, man.
And that is Pod Slam. That is in Chicago, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be on September 23rd.
And what is Pod Slam? This is the third year we've done it, right?
Yes. And it'll be the first year that I have been able to attend in person.
That's true. Yeah.
Pod Slam is a podcast marathon to benefit Connor's Cure,
Which is a charity that tries to find a cure for pediatric cancer.
Mm-hmm. And it runs for 12 straight hours, and it's going to be at the IO Theater in Chicago, and it's from 1 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm. October 23rd. Or September 23rd.
September 23rd, yeah. September 23rd. Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. There's tons of podcasts. I'll tell you some of the people who will be there.
Yeah.
Us. Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling.
Very excited for them. Not
Your Demographic, a feminist wrestling podcast. Us. American TV Herstory. Podswoggle, a wrestling podcast with entertainment.
They got both things.
Means nothing. Alka Hollywood. Our Father. Bad at Movies. Talking Wild with Dan. So Many Bits. Riverside Falls. Humanoid Resources. 1994 Chicago. Screamcast's Would You Stream It? Pro Wrestling Trivia Game Show. Podswoggle Versus. And the Pod Slam All-Star Rumble. So there are half day and full day tickets. It's $15 for a half day, $20 for a full day. I mean,
and why would you not just show up and like just hang out and just drink with us all day?
It's going to be a blast. I'll be there all day.
I'll be there all day. Yeah.
And
if you can't be there and you still want to donate, I believe you can go to Arcade. Help me with the URL if I'm getting it wrong, but arcadeaudio.net/podslam.
Correct.
And then you can just like throw a couple bucks that way, and it doesn't go to us. It goes straight to Connor's Cure.
Yep.
Any money you donate goes directly to Connor's Cure.
And all proceeds of ticket sales go to Connor's Cure.
Right.
I
like other than the ticket price, because we have to give IO some amount of money for the rent.
Everything else. Yep.
Goes straight to Connor's Cure.
And during the shows, we'll be doing games and fun stuff where you can provide more, donate more, and we'll be
win
doing
prizes.
We're still working out the details of what you and I will be doing, but I think there will be some sort of donation article system where you can maybe pick an article for us if you donate. So it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, very excited.
That's all.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I want to talk about something completely different.
Monty Python.
Who's your favorite, Eric Idle or?
Gotta go with the American.
Graham Chapman. So Interestingly, we just happened to be talking about this.
Yeah. I think before we even get to that, I think a lot of people don't realize, or maybe they do because we bring it up, but we usually record 2 episodes at a time.
Sure.
So like this episode will come out about a week after we record it. But the second episode that we record today won't come out for 2 weeks.
Right.
So two and a half, 3 weeks ago, we recorded this episode.
And just happened to be talking about that crazy costume store, which doesn't even do it justice.
No.
It's just this bizarre, huge emporium of all kinds of crazy
costumes
things.
And other bull crap.
Yeah, like suits of armor.
I mean, everything. Legit.
I described it when I first walked in as like if a castle had a like an estate sale.
It's when we were there, I realized that it is the room of requirement where everyone like hides their shit.
Yes, absolutely. Like there were just things everywhere. At one point, we asked a worker where something was, and he went, "Oh, here," and he moved an entire rack away from the wall, and there's just like a whole another section of stuff.
It's unreal. So you actually got to see it.
I actually went there because a friend of the show, Otto, had a birthday party in August, and he decided he wanted everyone to show up and dressed as vampires.
Yeah, and I have a picture of you as a vampire. It's very good.
Ooh, maybe we can put it on the
that'll be the episode pick. I mean, and you know, whenever you hype something up for someone,
right,
you're always a little nervous that it's not going to live up to expectations.
Right. And I thought I had tempered my expectations, but I was even still like blown away when I went there.
Well, you were blown away before we even went to the basement.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the store was insane.
And the entrance to the basement is like hidden.
It's like
behind racks of shit.
It's actually hidden. But not because like you're not supposed to go down there. It just is.
Yeah. And then like you can there's like that way down into the basement, but then when you're down in the basement, there's a way to go up, but that way
doesn't go the same way as where you came from.
No, and it just leads directly behind the counter,
right?
Like the cash register.
And the entire basement is massive. First of all, it's sprawling. and the ceiling is just slightly too low. So I had to duck the entire time I was on there.
It's very eerie, and it's like, these are the wedding dresses. These are like the like traditional like Mexican dresses. This is all the Army surplus.
Right.
These are the Boy Scout uniforms.
And then once you get past all that, there's like, oh, here are the reel-to-reels. Here's a rack of CB radios.
Here's the Swedish erotica.
Literally.
Here's the sinks and toilets.
Yeah.
Here's
3 walls worth of just records packed in with no labels.
On top of a pile of newspapers was the Chicago Tribune from the day John Lennon was shot.
Yeah.
Then a bunch from like the middle of World War II.
Right.
It was wild.
Yeah, absolutely insane. Just so many crazy things. So of course I found an excellent vampire costume.
Yeah. I mean, couldn't find a better one.
No, I honestly couldn't. So
if you're ever in Chicago, it's called Lost Eras.
I believe so.
It's off the Howard Red Line. It's
crazy.
Nuts.
And let us know when you go, because I want to go back.
It's unreal. That's all. You want to get an article?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, the store was kind of like the Wikipedia of stores.
Whoa.
So
maybe we should just
do every episode there.
Yeah. They wouldn't even notice.
Oh, no,
like legit, we could record a full episode in that basement.
Yeah.
We could set up a podcasting studio in that basement.
There probably already is one. We'll probably walk through it.
Okay. PHP.
Oh, like internet stuff?
PHP is a server-side scripting language designed primarily for web development, but also used as a general-purpose programming language. Originally created by Rasmus Lerdorf. That's not a name.
It's my favorite Star Trek character.
Rasmus, that rules. In 1994, the PHP reference implementation is now produced by the PHP development team. PHP originally stood for LL, personal homepage. No, it didn't.
What?
But now it stands for the recursive acronym PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. So again,
the acronym is like scrambled anyway?
Yeah.
What the hell? Why can't they just give us a straight answer?
And why did it change?
Yeah, why did it start?
Like, why does it matter what it stands for now that we have it?
Well, what did PHP stand for? LL Bean. Like, what did it stand for?
Do you know anything about coding?
A little bit. Yeah, I did some Code Academy classes.
Okay, what'd you learn? I can make text italics.
Yeah,
I can make it bold.
Yeah, I learned a little bit of that. It was like HTML. I don't think I went too much farther than HTML. And if I did, I don't retain any of it.
It's weird how much of that stuff exists and we interact with every day, but just like on the user side, and I have no idea how any of it works.
It's really crazy.
Like, I don't really know how a car works,
right?
But in general, I could explain to you what's going on.
Yeah, I maybe could.
But
as far as coding goes, you're like, nope, I don't know.
I mean,
yeah, like anytime I play like a Flash game, I'm like, I have no idea how the hell they did this.
And people just like do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really have no clue. Yeah. Even as I was doing the coding classes, I was like,
if you say so.
If you say, well, I kind of understood the HTML stuff, kind of, because it's pretty. It's like you were saying, it's like make this bold, like
parentheses, hyperlink, like
right, exactly. It's pretty simple. It's nothing too much more complicated than like being good at writing an email.
But if I'm not mistaken, that only works because of like deeper programming language stuff.
Oh, I don't know, like CSS or C++ or
Python.
I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I think HTML is pretty basic. I don't think
that's basic. Is
like I think Python is a language, but I don't think it.
But like
is a building block for HTML.
HTML has to run on something, right? Like,
well, that's why I was getting so confused not too long ago.
What is making it do that?
Well,
like when I type like italics.
Well, it's literally like if you go into Microsoft Word and you typed in something like ampersand 14325 semicolon, it produces a character, and that character's like a star.
That's Unicode.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that.
But what?
So like if you type in, or like it's sort of like that combined with MS DOS. Like if you go to DOS and you type,
but like something
C:\\.
But what I mean is like DOS has its own programming to know what to do when you enter stuff.
Right. That's what HTML is.
I think HTML is the stuff that you're entering into another thing. There's got to be something.
Well, there's definitely some sort of. Well, that's why I was getting confused not too long ago about how internet stuff works.
How far down does it go? Like somewhere there's got to be nothing, right? You know what I mean?
So I think web pages have to have like the internet is a series of
tubes.
I wasn't gonna say that, but I think I get what you're saying, and I guess in human terms, I would say everything is fluent in HTML. Like it's a requirement of the internet to know how HTML works.
HTML is the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end.
Exactly, the alphanumeric and the omega.
Numeric.
Does that make sense? Kind of.
No, but
like some websites you need Flash to run, so it's like, well, you have to install this language, so to speak.
I think I'm just too stupid to understand this,
that might be
I'm
it.
willing to admit the limitations of.
Well, have you ever opened up like the source code for like a website?
That movie with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, have you ever looked at that?
Yeah, and then I decided to leave the train and fall in love with the lady. and then was my dead soldier body still alive? Who knows?
You know way more about this movie than I do.
I saw that movie. It was very strange and bad. And it had a lot of weird implications that I don't think they really thought about.
Really?
Like he's
inside the computer program?
I'll go back. So he
I feel like we've talked about source code on the podcast before.
Probably. It really left a mark on me.
I bet.
So, I mean, this is all revealed later, but I'll just like spill it all out.
Okay. So skip the next 2 minutes if you're worried about source code spoilers.
Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal is an injured veteran. And like his whole body is like totally fucked up from like an IED. I almost said IUD. From an IED. And you find out that they were able to like salvage his consciousness inside of his essentially dead body.
Okay.
So they hook him into the source code, which is like this machine, but he doesn't realize this at first. And he keeps reliving this amount of time on a train. And there was a terror attack on this train where someone like blew it up or something. Mm-hmm. So he keeps reliving it, and they're like, you have to figure out who the terrorist is so we can catch them. And then
hold on.
And then you find out that he is reliving they like took a dead body or something from this train, and you're like, Jake Gyllenhaal is reliving this dead person's memory.
So that's not even him.
No.
Wow.
So he's like reliving this memory.
He's sort of like piloting somebody else's memory without knowing it.
Yes. And then eventually he finds out, and he like finds out who the killer was, but what he winds up doing, because he also like falls in love with a woman on the train.
Okay, sure, whatever.
So what winds up happening is he like stops the terror plot from happening, but instead of like
in this memory,
yeah, sure. But then instead of like going back out into the real world where he's in like a
hospital or whatever,
yeah, he like stays in the memory and like leaves the train station with the woman.
Doesn't make any sense.
So then it's like
literally not possible.
Well, yeah, but then it's like, okay, if that's not real, he's just like going insane as he's dying.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
If it is real and he saved these people's lives, what happened to the dude whose body he took?
He's now incorporated. Well, I mean, at the point where you alter the memory, it's no longer the memory. Like, it's not even a thing anymore.
Right, but that dude still had like a wife at home. You know, like he maybe still had like a wife and kids and a job.
I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, it's not a real thing anyway, right?
Well,
like,
I mean, nothing is real, you know?
Well, I mean, it's like the fact that he couldn't, if you're reliving somebody's memory and you can actually alter it. I mean, this is just like some fucking, this is Assassin's Creed. It's just Assassin's Creed, first of all.
Or like.
It literally is Assassin's Creed.
What was I thinking? Inception.
Yeah, it's like worse Inception. Because in Inception
was pretty bad.
It's a dream where you can, it's like, dreams aren't set in stone.
That's true.
Whereas this is like, if I'm on a train, that's what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't leave the train because I never did.
So yeah, I saw that movie alone, like in the middle. It was like in the middle of the day, and I just brought in like 2 giant Fosters, cans of Fosters.
Was it impactful for you? Like at the time we were like, damn, that was tight.
No, at the time I didn't like it, but it also like freaked me out.
Oh, really?
Like I didn't like it, but it was just like, it felt like gross and weird and I did not care for it.
Maybe that's what it was. It made you feel uneasy because you're like, something's wrong about this.
Yeah. And I was like, I should have just watched Yogi Bear 3D again.
Did they have a fun tagline to it? Do you recall? I don't know.
No.
You know how they do like Road Trip for the new...
That's not the tagline. That's just the name of the movie.
Is that just the name of the movie?
I mean, the squeakle.
Right, exactly.
Chipwrecked, road chip. Yeah, it's not a tagline. The tagline for the I forget which one, but it's like things are getting monked up.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I think I saw a screenshot from the new Mario plus Rabbids game.
Yeah.
And I think one of the power-ups was like, life's a beach. And it's like, you can't do that. You can't say that.
You can. And they did.
But you can't say it's going to get monked up, because then the kids are like, what the fuck does monked up mean? And
well, it means funked up, which kind of means fucked up.
It's just so many such a move. And then also at its core is like, it's a curse word.
Well, that's just like saying darn or shoot.
Yeah, I get.
Or zounds.
I would agree if monked up was like a common saying.
Fucked up is,
but but if a poster said that darn cat,
okay,
I'd be like, yeah, that darn cat. Like I wouldn't think twice. Like as a kid, I wouldn't go, oh, they mean damn. You know what I mean?
Sure, I guess.
So like if it said like if it was like a music movie. No, that's not even good. Because I was gonna say if it was like Pitch Perfect and the tagline was it's about to get funked up, even that I'd be like, damn, that's a little risque, huh?
Well, I mean, the Pitch Perfect posters are like, you're about to get pitch slapped.
Yeah, that's not good. But that being said, those movies aren't made for kids, I don't think.
No, they're not. I think they're like PG-13.
Yeah, which is like that's perfect. That's a perfect pun for a high schooler.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like pitch slapped.
Yeah, monked up is. Yeah, I guess it's not great.
You know what I mean?
I don't think that they put too much thought in anything with those movies.
Definitely not. I mean, no kid is probably really thinking about it. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's for the adults, so they know that if we see this movie, like the adults are gonna have some fun too.
Yeah, they'll just keep thinking about, man, that poster was rad.
I can't get that poster on my head. Those chipettes are so sexy, they would say.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, anyway, we're talking about source code.
Yeah, that's all, I guess. I mean,
so I should not see it.
It was one of those things that like really truly like shook me, even though it was like a very bad movie. But it just
you keep thinking about like the guy's wife. Like,
well, not just like that man. Like his life is gone.
Yeah.
And
who is that man? Is he just a dead man who died in the terrorist attack?
Yeah.
Well, then in a way, he got his life back.
No.
Yeah.
He got nothing because he's a husk now.
Well, yeah. Oh, you're saying like his soul is like trapped for Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. Well, I think about that. There was this movie called The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
And I seen it on TV and I was like 12.
Okay.
So I don't really know if I'm going to be right.
Perfect.
But I believe the basic part of the movie was there was clones. And so during the big climactic battle at the end or whatever, where he's trying to kill the evil scientist, Arnold like does a bunch of shit where, oh man, he got me, like, oh, you killed me. And then he like got killed. But he had cloned himself. So there's like a bunch of other Arnolds, like that pick up the mantle basically.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, would you actually just die even if your conscious was in another clone? Because it's not really your...
I don't like to think about that stuff.
Right.
Man,
having the same memories is not the same as having like your spark or whatever, which is like its own weird made up thing I just did.
I want to talk about a movie, but I feel like if I bring it up, it will spoil the thing about the movie.
Damn.
And it's an older movie. It came out in like 2009, 2010.
Oh, that's pretty recent.
So I don't want to ruin it. So like...
Will it ruin it for me, you think?
Maybe.
Damn. All right, well, I don't care.
But it's like... So I don't even know how to like tell people to be cautious.
I had that same problem with a different movie. What the hell was it? The Usual Suspects.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the thing, but I knew that there was a thing, and so knowing it, I was able to figure it out immediately. Like, oh, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll just stay here for 2 hours, and okay, yeah, but I was right.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Man, because the reveal is clones, So I don't want to like.
So even just mentioning the movie, you're like, oh, well, that's a clone. So
yeah. I
know what you're saying. Yeah, it's a cool thing.
You know what movie
I know
about?
exactly what movie we're talking about.
It is a cool thing.
It is a cool thing. The end on that.
Hey, go see that movie. It's cool.
It's very good. Are there other movies like that where like even mentioning them, you're like, fuck, I can't even talk about this?
Well, I mean, the thing is, we could have mentioned it, no problem.
Yeah.
But the fact that we were talking about clones, like...
Yeah.
like the fact that it triggered that in my mind, and I mentioned it's
right.
Like,
if we had just been saying like talking about movies with cool like twists or whatever, we could even say that movie, and it still wouldn't even ruin it.
Totally,
because you would never see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That's a very good example of that. Whereas the thing I'm talking about was like, oh, okay, well, I saw that twist coming.
Yep.
The what's the movie I'm trying to think of? Seven is kind of like that, where like you can't really ruin Seven.
Sure.
So that's a good movie.
And the thing is too, like, if it had come out in the 80s or 90s, I would just be like, whatever. But it's new enough where it like feels kind of bad.
Yeah. And the movie's good enough, and it's possible people didn't see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So maybe in like 4 or 5 weeks, I'll just say like, hey, go see this movie.
Yeah. Hey.
Forget what we said.
Go see Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones.
Smell you later. Fill your butt with a we could never do it alone or together when we know that we're going to fight.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.